All right, hey guys, sorry I forgot to tell you that I was not going to be able to be here today, but I have left myself in spirit as well as in video. So today we are hitting our courses so that we can go to our main page. And on your main page, you should see sub for today come up. And right now you don't see the little video because I'm making it, but you will in the morning. All right, so we're going to get started with where in the world, and I'm going to prompt you to stop the video and then take some time and then restart the video when we're ready. Okay, so we're going to hop on where in the world number 10. So if you click here on where in the world number 10, that takes us to our clues for this week that we did not do. So we're in the world 10. You guys click right here so it takes you to the form. And I'm going to go through the clues that are here. Clue number 1 says, we're visiting a city that was covered by volcanic ash when a volcano erupted back in 79 AD. You can still see the extinct volcano in the distance. Okay, so you could possibly look up volcanoes that happened in 79 AD. Let's see what clue 2 has to offer. Now excavated, this unburied city is a popular tourist site. Walking around the city, you can see a bakery with bread still in the oven, just as when it was the volcano suddenly erupted. One house even has a beware of dog mosaic at the door entrance. Okay, so some interesting things there. Maybe in this clue, you might search up an unburied city that's a tourist attraction. All right, clue number 3. As we walked the stone streets, we saw that every so often 3 raised stones were positioned. The stones were originally placed there for 2 reasons. The first reason was to help people cross the street without getting their feet covered with wastewater. There were no underground sewers back then. Clue number 4. The second reason was to prevent attacks from neighboring areas. Only people in the city knew the dimensions to build their chariots so they could pass through those streets. Okay, so you definitely know that it is an older time and they were building their stones in such a way that only their chariots could pass. And here are the streets that they walked upon. So can you name the city and country that we are visiting today? All right, we're going to stop the video and let's take about 5 or 6 minutes to search clues. Remember, we don't copy and paste the whole clue in there. We have to take parts of the clue that can help us figure out what city might have an unburied city within it from a volcano that erupted back in 79 AD. So you're going to be on the form, and when the form opens, it will be in your name, and you will submit your 2 answers, the city and the country that Mr. Kettemer and I are in, or that we are visiting. So right here, name the city and country we're visiting, and then press your submit. Okay, then stop the video. All right, the video is stopped and you are working on where in the world. Now you're back and we are ready to take a look at European landforms. So we're going to take a virtual field trip through Europe. So you are going to click on this link right here in just a moment. But before we go to the landforms video virtual field trip, we need to do something so that we can participate in today's activity. So first we need to create a Padlet account. So here you can see Padlet.com is where we need to go, and we need to sign up for Padlet. So if you would please choose a browser, just open up a browser, okay, and you're going to type Padlet, P-A-D-L-E-T, Padlet, P-A-D-L-E-T.com. All right, and then put that in. And once you open that, it's going to ask you what you want to do. Now, I already have an account, but you guys are going to create an account. So it gives you some options. And one of those options is All right, sorry about all the barking in the background, but you guys are going to create a Padlet account, and one of the options is to use your Office 365 account, your Microsoft. Choose the Microsoft. It is going to automatically recognize your account on the computer, okay? So if it asks for your email, put your email. Now remember your emails, last name, first initial. Some of you have a number, the @ symbol, student, STUDENT dot ACPSD, Aiken County Public School District dot net, NET. If you don't have any of that right, then it's not going to work. But I believe it should recognize you right here on the computer when you choose your Microsoft, when you choose Microsoft Office. Then it's going to give you like a frown face and say, sorry, that didn't work. It did work. Just go log back into Padlet, refresh your page up here, and then it should give you a little platform to where you've been invited to this form right here. All right, so stop the video and make sure that everybody gets logged into Padlet. That should take you about 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, you're back and everybody is now into Padlet. Okay, so you don't actually have to go back to Padlet. You actually have to go back to your main page where you can see the sub for today. Okay, so you can see, scroll down on today's sub, that you have a European Landforms here, and this is actually Padlet right here. And you're going to answer questions that are prompted for you. So I am the questioner. So each of these little Post-its are a question, and you choose to add your comment underneath. Now, if your comment is not doing your name, you did not log into Padlet first. Okay, so I will know that based on who has names and not, whether or not you set up your Padlet first. Okay, so now we're going to go to the European Landforms virtual field trip. So this is created using a PowerPoint presentation and Google Earth. And so throughout this, there are several links that you're going to click on that take you places. Okay, so this is European Landforms virtual field trip. Let's take a look across the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so the first part is about peninsulas, and you're going to click on this link right here. It's going to open it up to where you have a video to watch about Europe. Okay, so I'm not going to watch that with you. I'm going to let you guys watch that. And then when you get here, you'll see peninsulas. There's Europe is often described as a peninsula of peninsulas. It's one big peninsula because it's surrounded on 3 sides by water, the Arctic Ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, the Mediterranean, the Black, and the Caspian Seas. But it also has its own peninsulas within it. You have the Iberian, the Italian, the Balkan, the Scandinavian, and the Jutland peninsulas. And so these peninsulas are super important to the economy of Europe. So now if you click on this picture here, it's going to take you to a Google Earth tour. And so I'm just going to show you just a little bit of how this works so that you guys can navigate and find your way around as you're in Google Earth. So when it opens up, it'll open up to a presentation. All right, so you can see it open right here. It opens like this, and this is peninsulas of Europe, and then you can kind of see the places we're going. You guys want to go in this present mode. So when you press present, it opens it up like full screen, and then you'll notice it takes you places, and we start out with our school so you can see where we're journeying from. So here's the cool part about this is you can actually jump off and go do some other things. Here we can see it in a 3D view. It's going to go all the way around our school, and you can see all the different things around our school. You can actually get off, and anything that's blue is a street, so you can put yourself right down here on the street, and you can walk around on the street, and you can see there's our school right there. Okay, so then you can also maneuver through. So here's where my table of contents are. So then you would scroll through and go to the next place, and it's going to actually fly us over there. So we go up in the sky, and we're going across the Atlantic Ocean, and we're coming to the Iberian Peninsula in Spain. Now notice up here on the right, you have pictures that you can do full screen, so you can take a closer look at them. You also have things that I have written to tell you about. So this talks about the Iberian Peninsula. So you guys will read through that. And once you've done that one, you go to the next one and you keep going through until you've hit them all. Now, if there are any arrows up here, that means that there's multiple pictures that you can take a look at. Again, you can see the text here. You can go drop down and walk around. You can go 3D. And again, let's explore around and see what we can find, as this is our first time to use Google Earth. So here you can see the Balkan Peninsula and some reading about that. And then we're going to go to the Scandinavian Peninsula. You can see images, and then it tells you a little bit about the Scandinavian Peninsula. And then finally we're going to the Jutland Peninsula. Again, images and some text information about this. Okay, and there's actually a back arrow over here that you're going to click to get out of this. Okay, and now that we're done with that one, so you'll have to go back onto your home page, the page up at the top that we open this in. Okay, then next we're going to talk about islands, and you notice when I hover over that, if you click on islands, you're going to go to islands, and that's going to open up actually a little video about islands, and I'm going to close that, and you guys are going to watch that on your own. And then when you scroll down, you'll see landforms of Europe, and then we have mountains, and notice when I hover over it, it changes color. That's because this is a link to another Google Earth page. And the same thing with uplands. When you click there, it's going to take you to a different Google Earth presentation. And then finally plains. Okay, now on some of these, make sure that you are toggling all the way through, because some of them have videos attached to them. So just make sure that you're observing the pictures up in the top right, whether or not there are arrows there. So I want to show you one. So here we go into present mode. Okay, and we're going to start at our school again. And then when you go to the next spot, see how there are arrows right here. So that means you can go through the arrows. And then I actually have a video embedded here. And I also have some information about the Alps or the Alpine Mountains. Okay, and then arrows still show that you can go through and see until you eventually get back to where you are. Okay, so please make sure you're doing that. Again, don't hesitate to drop down and see where it's going to let you go. So this is actually literally going to let us drop down in here, and it will come in and take you into the mountains, so you can actually get down in the mountains. So today we got to go to the Swiss Alps. All right, so you guys are going to continue doing that, so that you'll do the mountains, the uplands, and the plains, and then you come to the end. Okay, so then that takes us back to what we talked about first was the Padlet, and now you're going to come to the Padlet, and you're going to talk about each of the four. You got your mountains. It says choose one of the mountains and record a fact that surprised you and why you were surprised. Then in the uplands, choose one of the uplands and record an interesting fact you learned about it. In the plains, what is a way that waterways contribute to the plains? How are plains important to humans? So when you look at the plains, you're going to be like, Miss Prenny, these aren't really landforms. A lot of these are waterways. Yeah, because the waterways are what keep the plains functioning. So we tried to tie that information together to help you see the importance of the plains and how these waterways contribute to them. And then finally, you have one on peninsulas. Choose one of the peninsulas and record something that you learned about that peninsula. Okay, so you're going to toggle your way through Google Earth, and then you're going to record your answers here. And then I have one final thing for today, and that is playing the Tower of Defense European Landforms Look It game. So when you click on here, that's going to take you to this page right here, where you then click on Tower of Defense. And when you come to Tower of Defense, put your name, and then go play the game. All right, you guys have a great Friday and a great weekend, and I will see you when I get back on Monday. If you have a dire need or urgent request, please just send me an email. It comes to my phone, and if I'm able, I will answer you. Again, have a great day.